Let's talk about 108, and then we'll wrap up with the Fortnite stuff because I think it's cool.
Fork knife.
So Chrome OS 108, last of the year.
Yeah.
I thought your title was nice.
Thank you.
It's a good title.
Yeah. Last update of 2022. Hoorah. So, and honestly, we weren't really expecting a whole lot. What?
Go ahead. I'm curious when the next update's going to
Yeah, so when Chrome 108 came out, it had a few neat...
What if there's going to be one more and Gabe lied?
No, I checked.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure
I
he
checked
looked.
calendar. It's mid or late January, I think. It might be February. No, it's mid or late January. I don't know. Anyway, Chrome 108 came out. Pretty thin on features, so didn't really expect a whole lot from ChromeOS 108. I started writing the article, and then I waited, and then I'm glad I waited because our Google rep sent us an email with he said for major updates, they're going to try to get them on the keyword. He said for everything else, they're going to put them on the ChromeOS community, the official Google community. So they'll put an update there. And he sent me a link to that update. And this one actually has quite a bit of stuff in it. So the trash can, how long do you think we've been tracking the trash can?
Ooh,
Gosh.
just off the top of my head, I'm going to say 14 months.
2 years and a month. Yeah.
My gut really wanted to say 18 months.
Yeah.
It's like, that's too round. I got to go up or down. I'm going down.
Yeah, it was October of 2020 when we first started tracking it. And honestly, for me, I've always argued that it's not that big of a deal. I don't care. I don't use Windows devices. I don't use trash cans. And I live in the I keep my stuff. Matter of fact, right now, my default download is Google Drive. I don't use default download as the download on there. So to me, it's not that big of a deal. Plus, if you delete a file, it prompts you before it lets you delete it. It's a double. What do they call that? It's a fail safe. It has a fail safe. Yeah. But apparently, a lot of people have wanted it, and they've worked on it for quite a while. So now there is a trash can. When you delete a file, it will go to the trash can, so you can recover it. Or after 30 days, it will be deleted automatically. So I don't know.
If you delete it the second time, it's your fault.
That's on you.
It's gone. So
that's on you.
My only lost files ever happen when I'm like, I can power wash this Chromebook.
That's when I lose stuff.
I power wash. I'm like,
man,
that design I was working on.
Yeah. So this one I thought was really cool, which I'm surprised I hadn't seen this already because I'm usually in like the dev channel or Canary. But last month was Native American History Month, and they did a Google Doodle with the stickball thing. Well, they've added 20 Native American artist wallpapers, and I actually have one on my device right now because they look really, really cool.
Yeah, there's a couple really cool ones.
So I got the, if you're looking for it, it's called Constellation Mix Artwork by Noah Lee, who is a member of the Native American Navajo Dine tribe. I don't know.
It's one of those.
Yeah, it's
maybe.
one of those. So anyway, this one, for some reason, I thought was already a thing, but apparently it wasn't. Multi-page document scanning, which a lot of people make kind of a big deal about this, but I just don't see a lot of people walking around scanning documents with their laptop.
So I saw it, and I was like, I'm going to try it. Because
It
I've never
works.
done it.
Yeah.
It does work, but you have to hold the document
Yes.
with a front-facing camera. I'm like, where are you going to put it? So my thumb's in every document.
Yeah.
Or my fingers. You can't hold a piece of paper by the edges. So how do I position the paper to scan it?
Well, with like if you have an external,
That's true.
I did it with my external webcam,
Then that's
I just
probably
held
the
it,
point.
and that works. Or you have devices that have a
Tablets
front-facing
have the back
camera.
thing, yeah.
or-
That's what it's for.
And I'm thinking about teachers too. Because
Right.
that was one of the tricks, one of the interviews that I did. They were talking about having an external webcam like that. And especially when you're like, if you're doing presentations, you're showing kids, it's kind of like a easy way to have that top-down shot and then also scanning in
It does
stuff.
do a good job of finding corners and edges.
which is
Like my
it's
fingers were
mind blowing
throwing that off, obviously.
because I don't understand why. Like,
Just picture Robbie trying to hold his piece of paper.
Oh, stop bowing.
I don't understand, as good as Google has gotten at scanning documents and stuff, why they can't fix document scan in Google Drive when you try to scan something with your phone. Like a receipt.
Where it misses edges.
Oh, it's horrible. It misses everything. It's just, it'll
Like
be
I put it on a
sideways.
perfectly dark background,
Yeah,
and it's like,
it-
how did you miss that?
It does okay with dark background, but
It's
really
bad.
bad. You know what would really help with any of these document scanners? Google needs to implement the same little accelerometer thing they do with their camera. So when I go to take a photo of something, there's that little thing that shows up and shows me whether I'm level or not.
Yeah.
It's one of the most insanely helpful. I mean, it does it on your regular shots too. Like, and you feel the haptics move to tell you, hey, you're level.
Yeah.
I love that so much, and I love that when you're facing down, it gives you the circular one.
Yeah, which is nice.
If they would do that with document scanning, you know how much more squarer your stuff would be if your phone was square?
And you have some apps where like you have to scan like your ID or or if you're just scanning your debit card or whatever, the little corners, it'll find it, and once you get it in there, it just locks on it and takes that picture. So you don't even have to. All you have to do is try to get it as square as you can, and then it'll take it. Or when you're scanning a check or whatever. So anyways, multi-page document scan. So document scanning was already in there, but now if you go to the camera app and click scan, and you scan a document, once it's done, there's a plus button. You can add subsequent documents, and it will create a multi-page single PDF.
Yeah,
so
which is pretty sweet.
And you're right. For teachers, I could imagine that would be very, very useful.
Yeah,
so.
Or like enterprise stuff where you're scanning in a bunch of stuff. Like it's just one of those things. It's like we might not be something we hardly ever use, but for that person that needs it, that's a very nice feature to have.
This one most people probably don't think about. I do, because it's just one of those nagging things I noticed. They said they have made some captive portal improvements. If you're out and about a lot at Starbucks or wherever, and you have a for those that don't know, a captive portal is when you jump on a public Wi-Fi and it forces you to go to a login page before you can actually access the internet. Hotels, Starbucks, wherever. ChromeOS handles those really wonky sometimes. Sometimes it'll automatically pop up the page where you log in. Sometimes it'll pop up a toast notification that says, click here, you may need to click here or whatever to connect. Sometimes it won't do anything, and you'll just have a little exclamation point, and you're like, why is the internet not working? Says they've made improvements as far as stability on the connections and clear notifications on what you need to do to connect. So that's just one of those little quality of life things that's like, this makes it feel a little more mature. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and then updated virtual keyboard, which I don't ever use.
They like rounded the tops, and then they pushed some of the shortcuts to the
so they've made the shortcuts a little more accessible for like handwriting tools and things like that. So if you use a virtual keyboard, this is probably like a huge welcome addition.
It does look like in landscape too, they made the keyboard itself smaller,
a little tighter. Yeah,
because it's like on, say, like the Duet 5.
It's weird and wonky.
You can't reach with your thumb, so it's like you got to set it down and then poke at it. Like it's
you might as well
awkward.
have a keyboard,
right?
Yeah. So, but that's it. That's about. There's a few other things that they added to Chrome 108, which should come with this. Like they have the newer generation of high-res emojis, and it will now work in Chrome, and just little things like that, and then a bunch of bug fixes. But yeah, that's about it. But my whole shtick in my post about ChromeOS 108 was that it might feel a little light on features, but it's the end of the year, and they're ramping up for 2023, which is going to have Steam Gaming. They're working on these video conferencing tools, which I'm thinking more and more that these video conferencing tools are going to be integrated. They're going to work with any major video chat platform. Right. So if you open a Zoom window and you're in a call, those tools are going to pop up on your shelf. You can blur your background. You can mute you can share your screen, all that stuff. What else were we talking about? Esh should be along sometime.
So that's mirroring your phone, like your notifications and stuff. So that when a notification comes in, instead of just popping it up, if you go to interact, it's going to show your phone screen down there. Right.
So it's essentially mirroring your display for specific. It's really only going to be for chat apps, right? From what I understand.
Yeah. And it'll only be for specific applications.
Yeah. And then glanceable widgets should be coming along sometime soon.
That showed up, what was it, a few months ago, that those showed up and they were still a little broken and stuff. Like, feels like we're getting closer. I found something the other day that shows something else they're adding to the calendar. You know, they're working on it. They're wanting to make those little widgets on your lock screen a little more usable and actionable, glanceable type stuff that you can, keep your Chromebook on, keep it locked, and be able to glance over at it and see something and take action on it.
Yeah. Oh, that was the one other thing that did come in 108. It is still behind a flag, and you can find those flags in the article, but they're worth turning on. So there is a battery saver mode, energy saver mode, and a memory saving mode. So with the batteries or the energy saving mode, you can set it to it throttles down like background pay. Anyways, it does all of that either when you drop below 20% battery or when you take it off the charger. You can enable those two settings separately, but that's a big deal because Windows kind of has that built into the OS. ChromeOS doesn't really have that kind of energy saving mode. But being how Chrome OS is built around Chrome anyway, that's very useful. So
yeah, that's going to handle the majority of the power.
You can enable those flags, and then you can set those options to enable when you want them to. And then the memory saver. They've been talking about that for a little while, where it basically kills processes in background tabs. Right. So you can kill process in background tabs, and then you can also, I think you also have the option to, like, if there's one specific site you never want memory saver to apply to, you can say, turn it off for this site, so it'll never turn it on. So, but those flags are there, and you can turn them on now, and they seem to be working just fine. You don't have to worry about them being buggy or anything. So.
Yeah, I've got those few new little @search things too up in the URL bar.
Little shortcuts.
I forget what they are now. I think you can. So tabs.
Did we write an article? I was gonna say I thought I saw that.
No, I wrote it.
Or you did,
but I don't remember what they are.
Yeah,
I don't use stuff like that.
Yeah,
generally, but it's kind of cool. I'm like, stuff like that is stuff that I'm like, man, I don't find a particular use for it, but there might come a time where I'd use it once and then realize, oh, this is handy, and then start thinking about that. Like I just don't think about searching for stuff.
Yeah, because the Omnibar on Chrome has a lot of really cool stuff you can do. And if I were in a job where I did a lot more like research or different things like that, I would probably use it a lot more. But it has a lot of really awesome tools. Now you got me curious.
I had it open and then I closed it,
and then
apparently,
I closed it.
I know it's tabs is the one main one, and that's why I was like, once I get like 8 tabs open, I'm already cleaning.
Right.
I'm bringing it back down.
Yeah.
So, but there's people that use tab groups and have tabs and tabs and tabs and tabs open. When you do @tabs space, you could search for whatever, and it's only going to search across your tabs. And it's going to search the page content and everything. So you can find the tab you want to go to, click there. It's going to open that tab. Super helpful if you use lots of tabs. Let me see if I can find it.
I can't find it. I'm looking and I don't see it.
Well, we'll find it. Make sure
I got it right here.
Oh, nice.
Let's see.
I was going to say, click in the back end and click on your authors.
Oh, whoops! That's the wrong app or wrong post. Daggone it. Simplify. I thought I wrote it. I don't know.
Whatever.
Yeah,
we'll find it and
link in the show notes. But there's just a couple, and it's tab groups, and gosh dang it, I cannot remember.
Yeah,
I'm sitting there thinking, like, did I write that? We wrote a lot of content.
Someone wrote it.
We write a lot of articles. It was talked about at least.
I did because the other thing in 108, it's super small, but it's really cool, is PWAs.
Oh yeah.
When like Twitter or WhatsApp or whatever. If you just have it shortcutted, basically, it's not technically a PWA.
Installed.
If you have it installed or set as a shortcut to open a window, if you go to that website now, there's a very clear graphic thing up there. It's open in, and you can click it, and a little box pops down, and you get to choose where you want to open that site in. And so that's pretty cool. It's just giving more like glanceable notifications to people to see, like, hey, there's a PWA for this. If you want to install this, like, there's a way you can install this and use it on the desktop. And so cool little touch there too.
Yeah.
So that's the URL thing I wrote.
I don't know if you maybe didn't write the other one.
The other one.
The other one was talked about. I know for sure.
Tabs bookmark. It's right here. Why didn't
Who wrote it? Did I write it?
No. What is it? Tabs, bookmarks, and search history?
Yeah.
Michael wrote it.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I was right.
I know.
Hey,
I was.
Could you play that back, court reporter? No, I'm just
Red flag. Have you seen those challenge flag commercials?
Yeah. So @tabs, @history, @bookmarks. Okay, that's
nice.
Cool.
Oh, you know what? I remember getting the email on there was an embargo email, and then Michael and I chatted about it, and he wrote it.
I was gonna say, I know there was discussion around it, but.
I wrote this.
Yeah.
I'm over here like, I know I read it. Maybe I read it on Android Police.
I think I read it.
It's the rain. Let's blame everything on the rain.
I think we wrote it.
Yeah.
I think I wrote it.
That would be a cool song. Blame it on the rain.
Oh, yeah. Hey, everyone. Thanks so much for watching this clip of the Chromecast podcast. If you want to see the full episode, it's linked down in the description. But if you like this content, make sure to give us a thumbs up. Go down there, click subscribe, and click the notification bell. Don't kick it.
I like to ring it.
I like kick it.
You're not really ringing it. You're clicking it.
Yeah.
I just imagine Joe, San Francisco Joe.
They should add a little.
Kicking it.
They should add a little sound.
I think current gen Joe might hurt himself with this.
Probably.
It's a bit more limber than
current gen Joe is probably a result of San Francisco Joe.
That's why my back hurts all the time. All right. Appreciate you all watching. we'll catch you in the next clip. Bye-bye.